Look, if you're a Pi network pioneer, I need to expose something that could potentially destroy Pi's global reputation and adoption. There's a brewing political scandal that nobody in the mainstream Pi community is talking about, but it's spreading like wildfire in private groups. Allegations have surfaced linking a prominent Pi ecosystem figure to controversial political support that could alienate millions of international users and potentially block Pi from major exchanges. I've spent weeks investigating this explosive claim alongside the GCV movement, promising $314,159 per Pi, and those viral Dr. Kokalis messages flooding social media. What I discovered will shock you. This political controversy might actually be the biggest threat to Pi's future success, more than any technical delay or market condition we've faced so far. You know, I've noticed something concerning. The internet has gone eerily quiet about Pi Network lately. Search volumes are dropping, and I can feel that many of you are starting to lose hope. But here's the thing. After everything I've uncovered in my research, I believe we might actually be closer to something significant than most people realize. Before we dive into these game-changing revelations, do me a favor and follow my Telegram and Facebook pages. Those links are sitting right there in the description. That's where I share the exclusive insights and breaking news that honestly, you just won't find anywhere else. While everyone else is spreading rumors and speculation, I'm committed to bringing you the verified facts that will help you make smart decisions about your Pi journey. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room. GCV, or Global Consensus Value. This term has been spreading through our community like wildfire, and honestly, it's both exciting and confusing as hell. The basic idea is that if enough of us pioneers agree to value Pi at a certain price, and get this, some groups are pushing for $314,159 per token, which comes directly from the mathematical constant Pi. Pretty clever, right? Now here's where it gets interesting. Different groups are interpreting GCV completely differently. Some people think it's going to be a separate token that gets airdropped to Pi holders. Others believe it's more like a community agreement or framework for setting Pi's initial value. And you know what? Nobody seems to have a definitive answer, which is creating this massive buzz of anticipation and confusion. My honest take on GCV, look, I love the community spirit behind this movement, and the mathematical reference to Pi is brilliant marketing. But we need to be realistic here. A community can't just decide a token is worth $300,000 without any underlying utility, adoption, or market forces to back it up. That said, community consensus can definitely influence initial pricing when Pi finally hits exchanges. So this movement isn't completely meaningless. It's just probably not going to result in the astronomical numbers people are hoping for. This is where things get really interesting. You know, Dr. Kokalis is basically the face of Pi Network for most of us. The guy has serious credentials, Stanford PhD, created the first decentralized applications class at Stanford. So when he speaks, millions of pioneers hang on every single word. Recently, these short video clips and text messages supposedly from him have been making rounds on social media. And they've got everyone thinking we're about to see major announcements. From what I've seen, these messages have this really positive, encouraging tone. He's apparently saying things like, "We're getting closer," and talking about final preparations for the next major step. The problem is, most of these clips are shared completely out of context, sometimes just screenshots with no way to verify if they're even real. Here's what I've noticed after following Pi Network for years. Dr. Kokalis and his team have always communicated in this same encouraging but vague way. They use words like soon and next phase without ever giving us concrete dates. And honestly, I understand why. Software development, especially something as complex as a blockchain network, is unpredictable. One bug could delay everything by months. My honest opinion on these communications, I think most of these messages are probably legitimate, but they're being taken way out of proportion. Dr. Kokalis has been saying, "We're getting closer" for literally years. That doesn't mean he's lying, it just means he's being careful not to overpromise. My advice? Take these messages as general encouragement from the team, not as signals that something big is happening next week. Okay, this one caught me off guard. Recently there have been allegations floating around that someone influential in the Pi ecosystem is a Trump supporter, and some people are worried this could hurt Pi's global image. I've seen posts and screenshots suggesting this person has liked or shared pro-Trump content on social media. Now, before anyone gets their political feathers ruffled, Let me say this clearly. These allegations aren't even about the core Pi Network team or Dr. Kokalis himself. We're talking about someone in the broader Pi community, and the evidence is pretty thin. It's basically just social media activity that people are analyzing and connecting dots that might not even be there. My honest take on this controversy, this feels like a complete distraction to me. First, Pi Network has never positioned itself as a political project. It's about financial inclusion and accessibility. Political opinions in the broader Pi community don't matter because Pi is a global project, and dragging it into American politics only distracts from real challenges like adoption and utility. What pioneers truly care about is price, but the reality is, Pi has no market value yet. It's not on major exchanges, and the enclosed mainnet prevents free trading, making random website prices meaningless. The GCV dream of $314,159 per Pi isn't realistic, since markets require adoption, demand, and utility, not just declarations. My honest take is that Pi will likely have some value when it launches, but expectations of $100 or more at the start are far too high. Pi almost certainly won't launch at $100, $1,000, or $300,000. A realistic start would be closer to $1 with growth depending on real utility and adoption. The problem is that misinformation, fake screenshots, leaked documents, and recycled rumors keeps misleading the community. My rule is simple: if it's not from the official Pi app, website, or Dr. Kokalis's verified accounts, I don't trust it. The truth is that Pi is still in its enclosed mainnet phase, with the core team focused on meeting conditions for open mainnet, so price speculation is premature. Yes, the mining excitement has faded and full utility isn't here yet, but slow and steady growth is better than a hype-driven crash. What the community needs now is patience, realistic expectations, and reliable information. Yes, patience. I know that's the last thing anyone wants to hear after years of mining. But building a legitimate cryptocurrency ecosystem takes time, and rushing it could hurt Pi's long-term prospects. If this video helped clear up some of the confusion for you, please hit that like button. If you want more honest, no-nonsense analysis of Pi Network developments, subscribe and ring that notification bell. And definitely drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about GCV, share your realistic price predictions, or let me know what other Pi Network topics you want me to investigate. Don't forget to follow my Telegram and Facebook pages linked in the description for updates between videos. And remember, stay informed through official channels, keep your expectations realistic, and don't let the rumors and hype derail your judgment. We're all in this together, and the pioneers who stay level-headed and well-informed are going to be the ones who make the best decisions when Pi finally does hit the open market. The Pi Network journey isn't over. It's just more complicated and slower than most of us originally expected. And, you know what? That might actually be a good thing.